To the midday news. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios here in Accra. A digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across the country, including A1 Radio in Bolgatanga, Volta Premier in Ho. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. This news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, Let's Go, and Telesol 4G. Just a touch. In this edition, major boost to COVID-19 fight in Ghana, as KNUST partners private firm to develop coronavirus test kit able to produce results in less than an hour.
We are optimistic that this thing will be fit for purpose for us to use in this country. There are many advantages of this kit in terms of our own efforts at containing COVID-19.
We've got details of the kits launched today in Kumasi. Pupils in rural communities of Ghana struggling to access virtual learning platforms introduced following COVID-19. Today we put the spotlight on how education has fared under the restrictions.
I've heard that they are learning going on online and television. And I don't have television at the same time, I don't have phone. It's very, very difficult for us to learn.
We are even scared because we are going to ride a BC with those in the cities that have access to the internet.
I don't learn, but I've been sitting at home and watching television.
We have details shortly. Devastating fall armyworm pest resurge in 8 out of the 16 regions of the country. Farmers say chemicals are needed quickly to avert widespread impact on the nation's food security. Doctor who contracted COVID-19 in line of duty and now recovering from home shares her story of stigma.
And surprisingly, it came from the hospital. It came from health workers. People telling me that I have come over to where they work and I've spread the infection to them.
And in sports,
former IBF lightweight champion Richard Oblitekome has his sights set on a rematch against Teofimo Lopez.
And later, what movie are you watching around this time?
You're hoping if you spin the chamber enough times, you're going to catch a bullet.
We'll hear all about yours. I'll tell you about mine as well. All that and more coming up here on the Midday News with me, Emefa, Apawu. And we start off from the Ashanti region, where the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology has developed a rapid test kit for COVID-19. The kit was built in partnership with a local IT firm, Incas Diagnostics, and other partners abroad. Lead developer and clinical microbiologist at the Department of Clinical Microbiology, Professor Edu Sarkodie, addressed the press earlier today.
Well, we are optimistic that this thing will be fit for purpose for us to use in this country. As said in the press release, there are many advantages of this kit, in terms of our own efforts at containing COVID-19. We are also, in the future, it's one of the things we try to do is to try and develop these kits that we can use very close to the patient, that can get us results in good time, So the collaborators, Incas and ourselves, are also working on a PCR type-based test, which can give us results in 45 minutes. Currently, your PCR test gives us how many? About 2 to 6 hours. That's why the current PCR gives results, before those results are being transmitted. We are working on a rapid PCR diagnostic that can give us results in about 45-50 minutes.
You heard the Professor Edu Sarkodie. He's the lead developer and clinical microbiologist at the Department of Clinical Microbiology at the KNUST. Let's go live now and speak to Love FM's Kwesi Deborah. He's been monitoring this event. Kwesi, tell us a bit more about this product and whether it's already on the market.
Yes, Emefa, as you heard, it's a new product. It's a new diagnostic tool. With products like this, it has to go through the rigors of the Food and Drugs Authority. It has to go through the Standards Authority. It might be that at the end of the day, the product, the branding might change. It might be that the cassette, which shows the antigens, might change. So a whole lot has to be done for it to be approved. So it's going through these rigors. We're hoping that it goes through, and of course, it will be available on the market. So for now, it's not available. It's going through testing through the FDA, through the food, the Standards Authority, the Standards Board, so that it will come out as a very good product for for the public?
When this thing is ready after optimization, we have a local company that will mass produce it. Okay, Senegal has to manufacture and produce its kits from the UK before they are trying to set up an industry locally that can do it. We in Kumasi here have Incas who do that for the country. So let us all be grateful to God where we've reached now and the many ideas that have come in helping fight this epidemic. Importantly, as a university, I want to put out that there are many things we've been developing. Recently, our College of Engineering came out with an automated ventilator that could help our patients who have to be on ventilators.
But it appears this is not the first time the KNUST is doing something to help in the fight against COVID-19. Professor Edusa Kodia talks about it.
Recently, our College of Engineering came out with an automated ventilator that could help our patients who have to be on ventilators. Our College of Art and Built Environment has also designed a nose mask and is mass producing it. Okay, and my own college, the College of Health Sciences, our Faculty of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences, from the little beginning, has been producing sanitizers, alcohol hand gels, alcohol hand drops. Okay, and that is one of the best in the country.
Well, that's Professor Edu Sarkodia. You also heard earlier my colleague Chrissy Deborah from the KNUST. Joining us in the studio for more on this is head of our health desk, Fred Smith. Fred, first, currently, how long does it take to get test results from the current testing equipment we have?
Well, the country, we have a number of laboratories in the country. Leading amongst them, we have Noguchi, we have the KCCR, we have the reference laboratories and others. And we have between 6 and 15 hours of testing time for COVID. Okay. And that is being reduced per this invention to something between 15 and 20 minutes. This is definitely a good news for us, this invention by KNUST. Already the Vice President has tweeted about it. There will be more subsequently. But this morning, the global coronavirus cases have now crossed 3 million mark. What are the latest figures and what's happening where? Fred, tell us more. Well, the United States has been the leading country with the highest number of cases and deaths, with 988,189 infections and 56,255 fatalities. Italy comes second with nearly 27,000 deaths out of almost 200,000 cases, followed by Spain with 23,521 deaths and nearly 230,000 cases. France has recorded over 23,327 deaths out of 165,963 cases, and the United Kingdom has reported 21,157 fatalities and 158,348 of them cases there. In China, excluding Hong Kong and Macau, they have to date declared 4,637 deaths and 83,918 cases, although the threat of resurgence of the virus through imported cases and otherwise continues to loom over the country, where the deadly virus first broke out in December 2019. And Emefa, in Ghana, we still have 1,550 cases. We have 11 deaths and 155 recoveries. We're expecting an update to this information when a news conference takes place later this afternoon. Thank you very much, Fred. We'll be following you closely for more updates globally and here in Ghana as well. Now, she tested positive whilst performing her regular duties as a specialist at the newborn intensive care unit of one of the country's hospitals. Now, still recovering, the mother, who wants to remain anonymous, says she received great support from colleagues who sometimes left food at her doorstep, but also suffered stigmatization from the workplace. Listen.
I want to use this medium to thank my colleagues at work. They have been so supportive. They would call in every day to check up on me and my family. Some dropped food at my doorstep. I had people who would buy my medications and come and drop at my doorstep. Yes, Mama, yes, I've had a lot of support, but then I've also gone through stigmatization, and surprisingly, it came from the hospital. It came from health workers. People telling me that I have come over to where they work and I've spread the infection to them. You know, and that was, I was very sad when I heard them saying things like that.
That's a doctor's touching COVID-19 story. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Let's talk education now, because many pupils and students in rural Ghana are struggling to connect to the various virtual learning platforms rolled out by government. Across the country, children in these communities with no internet connection and television are missing out on lessons. This afternoon, we've got stories from 3 separate communities in the country for you. First, we'll take you to the western regional town of Bonso, where final junior high and senior high school students are worried that they may fail their final exams as they cannot access learning online. Joy News' Henry Kwesibedu has a story read to you.
The Minister of Education, in collaboration with the Minister of Communication, has been tasked to roll out distance learning programs.
Banso, a community which is some 30 kilometers away from Western Region capital, many children loiter freely without any care. They said they have no idea that school continues online. Some JHS 3 students sit together engaging in group discussions. They are worried that basic education certificate examinations may start immediately school resumes.
The textbook have been a lot, and you don't know even the subject or the topic, the actual topic you have to go for.
That's 15-year-old Anita Kwam, a BECE candidate. She has been home for the past month helping her mother to operate a local eatery in the community. With no access to internet, she is worried her performance in the upcoming exams would suffer.
We are even scared because we have not done with our syllabus, and sometimes we have to struggle because we are going to write a BC with those in the cities that have access to the internet, and because we in the village we don't have those access to the internet, so it makes our learning very difficult. And we pray that this disaster should come to an end before the day of our BC comes.
Al Hassan, senior high school 3 student, is worried. He tells me it is a real struggle learning on his own as some topics need further explanation and direction from tutors.
It is very, very difficult for us to learn. Sometimes, especially the calculating subject, sometimes you have to get a teacher to teach you, but I've heard that they are learning going on online in television. And I don't have television at the same time, I don't have phone. So, it's very, very difficult for us to learn.
So, from Banso in the western region, let's head to Abuaso in the Ashanti region, where the situation appears to be the same. Student journalist Berkisu Mohammed has been finding out what the students have been doing. Here's her report.
At Abuaso in the Ashanti region, I met Asmao, a parent. Her home chores begin just after Islamic dawn prayers. She sweeps, fetches water and washes clothes. She supervises her children to take their baths and have breakfast. The missing link, however, is they are not going to school, and she has little to offer them by way of teaching.
I am able to teach my children. I teach them English and math.
Any dictation. The daily routine for children now is jumping from one playground to the other. It has been the case since the president ordered closure of all schools indefinitely to prevent spread of the coronavirus. The Ministry of Education and Ghana Education Service have secured agreement with the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation on a 24-hour for broadcasting of education materials. But what has been the response of the targeted group? Khalid Al-Hassan is a JHS student.
What I've been taught in school, I don't know anything about TV learning.
Farida is an SHS student.
I've heard about playing TV, but I haven't watched before. I have a clue about it.
People's teacher, Satar Sibawe, though loves the idea, he thinks it's not enough.
What about the basic ones? You know, you and I know the foundation is the most important thing when you are climbing an education ladder.
Now, right here in Accra, not all pupils are able to participate in the online studies and want government to do something about the situation. Maxwell Agbagba was in Choko, a community in the heart of the capital. Here's his report.
I'm going to interact with the family. Quite a number of children are here in this home. About 9 children actually live in this small house here on the side of the road. Let's get inside. Let's find out from them what life has been like and how studies, how they've been studying after schools were closed. I go. Okay. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine.
You didn't go to school today?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask you, what's the name again? This is a Crab family house,
yes.
right?
Okay. My name is Vijana Butri.
Vijana Butri.
Yes.
Vijana, tell me, what has it been like? Because I count about 9 children here,
yes.
Or there are more than 9?
There are more than 9.
There are more than 9?
Yes.
Wow. They all live here?
Yes.
Tell me, they are supposed to be studying online, so they'll be at home, their teachers will send them their homework, maybe through WhatsApp, or maybe through email, or maybe online studies, Zoom or anything. After the schools were closed, all of these children, what do they do in the morning?
They don't do anything in the morning. But if you in the afternoon, they will take book and pen, so they are doing studies. They are learning.
The children themselves?
They are children themselves.
They want to learn something. But their schools cannot get in touch with them any longer.
They can't help their children giving homework or they.
I don't learn. I don't learn. I've been sitting at home and watching television.
Okay. But your school, why your teachers do not send you homework?
I don't know whether they send because I don't have phone to look whether they send or they don't send.
Okay. But you have access to internet and computer?
No.
You don't have access to internet and computer?
Yes. I don't have access to them.
Okay. But they don't send it to you through WhatsApp too?
I don't know whether they send.
Okay. But your concern is noted. I have another young girl here. You are in SHS 1?
Yeah.
Okay. You're in SHS 1. Tell me, your teachers, have they been sending you exercises, homework? How have you been studying online?
Okay. I have friends online, so sometimes we chat. They send me questions. I answer them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are just from your friends?
Yeah.
Not from the school?
Yeah. The teachers have not been sending us homework.
But you can access, you can go on the internet, and then follow the websites that has been provided where you can follow study. So why are you not doing that?
Please, I don't have any internet connection.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Maxwell Agbagba's report revealing the inequality gap when it comes to online education. Our public relations officer at the Ghana Education Service, Cassandra Chumampofo, says more platforms will be introduced to be able to reach more children.
Yes, we have started these online sessions, and we have also engaged some TV stations. Of course, we have even submitted a letter to multimedia to give us their time. But just like the story, showed us, we also acknowledge that there are some who may not have television and access to internet, and that's the reason why we have also started discussions with some community radio stations so that at least they can have their radio. Even if you don't have electricity, you can have a radio that would probably use battery, or these days we have these solar radios. If you have one, you will be able to tune in and then listen.
Cassandra Chumampofo is the PR of the Ghana Education Service. The Midday News is also live on myjoyonline.com and also on Facebook. Our top stories: major boost to COVID-19 fight in Ghana as KNUST partners private firm to develop coronavirus test kits able to produce results in less than an hour. When we return from the break, devastating fall armyworm pest resurge in 8 out of the 16 regions of the country. Farmers say chemicals are needed quickly to avert widespread impact on the nation's food security. And later, I'm asking what movies you're watching during this period.
They were hoping if you spin the chamber enough times, you're gonna catch a bullet.
UMB was established in 1972 as the premier bank for the corporate and private sector in Ghana. From our very beginning, as the only Ghanaian bank serving all categories of businesses, we set a standard for excellence and innovation over the past 45 years. We've built a financially healthy and strong bank, demonstrated our commitment to our customers and to growing businesses, and exhibited originality and innovation at every turn. At UMB, our focus is built around people, service, products, and technology. These are the key to our present success and our future triumphs. At UMB, we're poised to make a difference not only with our customers, but also in the banking industry. We invite you to share in our future. Our future starts now with you.
With the all-new Supersport Relove, we've reorganized all 12 channels to bring you your favorite moments from football, athletics, WWE, and more. Supersport 1 is now available on DSTV Compact, and Supersport 3, the Premier League channel, is on DSTV Family, while 7 is on Access. Get DSTV and relive the greatest stories in sport, from Ali to Zidane and more, with the new Supersport Relove.
Yes, we're listening to the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM. Time now for sports. Handsman Sando has the latest.
And Emefa, we are still fighting COVID-19, but Richard Comey has already made plans for post-COVID-19.
Okay.
The former IBF lightweight champion has a sight set on a rematch against Teofimo Lopez. I remember Lopez beat Comey via a second-round stoppage and is scheduled to face Vasily Lomachenko in a unification fight later in the year. But Comey is not giving up hopes of a second showdown against the champion.
Yeah, most definitely. Why not? You know, because this fight ended up unexpectedly. So, I mean, we all made mistakes and accidents do happen in boxing. So, but I don't think he'll be willing to give me a rematch. But if he does, oh man, I'll be very, very grateful, because I'll be calling out. If he can get me Teofimo, you can hear me out. If you're willing to give me, let's do it again, please. But first off, I need to get back. I need to come back first, and then we'll see if he ain't. Because if he didn't have anyone to fight here, then definitely I'll be willing to, put my request across and see if he can give it to me.
So those are the plans for Richard Comey post-COVID-19. Isaac Dogbo is also talking up a third fight against Emmanuel Navarrete, and that has engaged a lot of people on social media. I mean, is a third fight really necessary? It shouldn't happen.
No, it shouldn't. That's why they're big.
Okay, that's your sport.
Thank you very much, Hans. Now, the devastating fall army worms have re-emerged in Ghana, with 8 out of the 16 regions of the country recording infestation. In 2017, more than 140,000 hectares of farm fields were infected by the pest across the country, negatively impacting food availability. Now, as the farming season begins, they are back, and farmers say chemicals are needed quickly to avert widespread destruction. Joseph Opoku-Gapo is head of our Greek desk, and he joins me on the line with more on this. First off, Joseph, what exactly are the fall army worms?
So these are very devastating pests for the crops that they consume, including corn. They chew on virtually every part of it, and they cause such devastation that it's difficult to control them with a lot of the regular chemicals, except for special preparations in order to deal with them. And we saw them become a big deal back in 2017, and since then it's been an endemic pest recurring virtually every year. And as the start of the farming season, with the rains coming in and all, they are back in some parts of the country.
How widespread is their infestation this time around?
From the indication we're getting and details from the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ahafo region, the Ashanti region, the Bono region, the Bono East region, the Central, as well as Eastern, Greater Accra, and Western regions have recorded some amount of cases. And the ministry says that there are surveillance reports indicating that there have been pockets of the fall armyworm infestation on maize planted in lowland and irrigated fields in districts in these particular regions. And so about half of all the regions in the country have recorded cases, and the caution is that there is the need for all to keep them vigilant.
So the last time around when we had the infestation, there was talk about the use of, detergents and all. What exactly is the Food and Agriculture Ministry doing this time around to curb the situation?
They indicate in a statement that they're asking that farmers monitor their fields frequently, just as after seed emergence, for early detection of the said signs and symptoms of the fall armyworm infestation, and then implement the necessary protocol options in order to deal with it. And they're asking farmers to report any such detected cases to their nearest offices, so that then they'll be able to dispatch the necessary chemicals and also the right education and extension services to farmers, so it doesn't get out of control.
That's my colleague Joseph Opoku Gakpo. We'll stay on the line. This time we're going to the Kotoka International Airport for that disinfection exercise. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba is there and joins us on the line. Maxwell, tell us more about the exercise. Hello, do we have Maxwell? Okay, we don't have Maxwell. We can hear from the Aviation Minister, Joseph Kofi Adda, on the exercise.
The most important thing is to get it done well now for us to be able to commence flights again. But I think there's a program to do it periodically. As to how often it will be done, whether it's going to be done every other month or every quarter, I'm not so sure. I leave that to the experts, the port health people, as well as the airport company people to sit down and discuss that matter and agree on how best to get it done. But it has to be done frequently or regularly to make sure that we do it right and we get rid of any organisms that will be in the air or on the counters or on the floor as well. Yeah, so it will be repeated.
Okay. Yeah. Do you have any idea how much we are losing in terms of?
Well, I didn't mention that. We're doing an analysis on that. We're hoping that we'll have all those figures ready by the weekend. So early next week we can brief you on that.
Just an idea?
Well, you have to engage the number of tickets and the sales and the total revenue and look at all of that that's come away. So I can't give you the numbers now.
How is the aviation sector hit by this pandemic? Ghana?
That question I should ask you. How do you see? We have no flights coming. We are nearly down to zero. So really it's hit badly. It's hit badly. So I will give you all the details later on.
That's the Aviation Minister, Joseph Kofi Adda. It's a good time to bring in Rebecca Chineboa-Dako. We've been asking what movies you've been watching. Rebecca, which one have you been watching?
Well, I've been watching a lot of movies, but obviously people can't go to the movies, so they are all hooked up onto Netflix and other streaming platforms. People are watching Coffee and Kareem, starring Taraji P. Henson, my favorite, actress.
Dramatic, just like you.
So, Coffee and Kareem is about a cop teaming up with his girlfriend's son to uncover a criminal case. This Miracle in Cell number 7. It's getting emotional reviews across the country, and obviously it talks about separated from his daughter, a father with intellectual disabilities must prove his innocence when he is jailed for the death of a commander's child. The new one that everybody's talking about is Extraction.
This is an extraction.
So who the players?
Biggest drug lord in India versus biggest drug lord in Bangladesh.
Some mythic shit, huh?
It's a kidnapping. Drug lord's son. Clock's running at 16 hours. Proof of life as of 6 hours ago.
Survive, you do exactly as I say.
Who are you?
Name?
Obi.
Well, the star of this particular movie is Chris Hemsworth. I still don't understand this movie because did he die?
He did not die. I saw
what
him.
Makes you? Oh, you saw him. You saw him where? Where exactly?
Well, at the end when the young guy came out of the water,
I saw
him.
him too, but I'm still not convinced that it's him.
There will
Maybe
definitely be a sequel, of course.
Maybe.
But I just didn't like the part about the involvement of too many children in there, portraying children in that way. But it's a movie I'll watch over and over again.
A very good movie with guns and all that.
You love guns, don't you? And that's Rebecca Chineboa-Dako. Well, we are getting ready for Sonny Badu's virtual concert as well.
And it's happening this Friday. He spoke exclusively to us.
The virtual concert is a collaboration with the Ghana High Commission here in the U.S. They reached out to me, and of course, as a son of the nation, it's my duty. His Excellency Dr. Bafo Ejebewa, he contacted me, and as a son of Ghana, it's my duty to respond. Arise, Ghana youth, for your country, the nation demands your devotion. So once I was called upon, of course, with all that we've been limited to, it had to be a virtual concert, and thank God that Rock Hill has all the facilities for that. So whatever the course is, I'm raising funds to help those who have been affected in this pandemic.
We're definitely looking forward to it. I can't wait. Hopefully, I'll bring you everything that happened during that concert to you here.
We trust that you always do. Becky with entertainment on the midday news. And that's how we wrap up this edition. You want to do that for us?
Of Joy
on the midday news. And there's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apawu. Thanks for your company.